Open Your Eyes is brought to you by Smart, bringing people together, and the Belize Bank, our country, your bank.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning, right?
I'm April Martinez.
And I'm Sabrina Daly.
And good morning, Belize. Thank you so much for joining us. Good
It's
morning,
nice
Sabrina.
to be here with you.
It's nice to be here with you. I'm enjoying our Fun Friday
Of
moment.
course,
We
as
start
always.
Fun Friday before the cameras start rolling. Just
When we're getting ready
when
in
we're
the
getting
morning.
ready,
Yeah.
yes, we are here. We're happy to have to be here with you, our lovely viewers. It's Friday. It's getting ready for the weekend. It's August 16th.
It is.
My gosh.
Some would say the eagle has landed.
The eagle has landed. Just yesterday I was telling somebody that I feel like Christmas preparations are starting to happen already. I'm not sure about here in Belize, but definitely in parts of like the United States, people done start to take out.
Yeah. You told me something about someone
sell.
buying your Christmas gift or something like that
Yeah,
already.
It's insane, and then you feel all of this pressure. But nevertheless, to me, time is just going very quickly.
It is going very quickly,
Yes.
and as you mentioned, we've passed through the week quite quickly. I know this week was a rather unique one.
Yes.
We did not have our KTV as usual, so we were in a different area, in a different part of the country, covering the Caribbean Broadcasting Union. So that's out of the way.
And congratulations on your special mention,
Thank you,
madam.
and also congratulations to everyone that won. But that's not the topic of discussion this morning.
It's
We
just
wanna
weird
talk
when I
about-
have to see you till Friday to tell you
So we
all
get-
about that.
Yeah. We talk about old news with April on Fridays because she's not here with us during the week.
I apologize. But yes, we do have a lot of topics that are trending and buzzing and sorry. When we have our group chat moments, sometimes I just send Sabrina a bunch of things that we think is nice to talk about for the morning, for Friday especially. And when Sabrina dropped the Vybz Kartel video in our group chat, I think everyone went wild.
I mean, it wasn't that much of a bombshell because it was already on social media.
Yeah.
But indeed, you definitely had a chuckle from that. So indeed, that's what we were saying. There was a video posted last night on social media from Vybz Kartel saying that he plans to visit Belize very, very soon. I believe in a matter of a couple weeks, he plans to visit Belize. Actually, I saw a snippet of a live video where he was on social media, probably Instagram, with his partner, saying that he plans to visit Belize for a little vacation.
Yes.
But just a little while after that, this video that you are currently seeing on the screen was posted where he was saying that he plans to visit Belize. And in the same breath, he used that opportunity to endorse Shine as the future Prime Minister. Of course, you know, Shine is the leader of the opposition. I do know that Honorable Shine Barrow was, or perhaps still is, in Jamaica. Meeting with the Prime Minister, talking about a range of topics related to the development of Belize and the preparation of the general elections that's set to take place next year. But this is an interesting one because you would know, April, that the Honorable Shine Barrow was well invested in the music industry before his political career. So perhaps that was the connection. Maybe not. Maybe it was with him meeting the Prime Minister of Jamaica as well. Nonetheless, we do know that a connection was made, and Vybz Kartel, who a lot of people here in Belize love and enjoy his music, is planning to be in Belize in a matter of a few weeks. A lot of people probably think they're going to get a concert out of that. I don't
think so, but you know, it's really nice. I set aside from the comedy part of it, the excitement part of it and everything, whenever any type of celebrity comes out and talks about Belize or mentions Belize in any kind of way, I think all of us have that like spidey sense where we catch it somewhere and we get extremely excited. We're happy for the recognition. We're happy for them to be able to come here and, of course, plan their vacation here in Belize. So, hey, if he does come, I'm pretty sure it might not give you a concert, but it might sing a little tune. Yeah, upon the beach. You know, you never know. But we'll of course, you welcome him.
And we do want to play that video just so you can hear exactly what he said in announcing his official trip to Belize in the next couple weeks. And as I said, endorsing Shine Barrow as the future Prime Minister and himself as the Rhyme Minister, whatever that means. We're going to play that clip now.
Belize. Yeah, man, I forward a Belize in the next. When we say we have a Belize? Like in 2 weeks. About 2 or 3 weeks, we are forward a Belize. Go up on a little vacation with my bae. Belize, this is Vybz Kartel. I'm coming your way in a few weeks. Belize, expect me. Shines, my original brother from another mother. Another G, the future Prime Minister. And I'm coming as the Rhyme Minister, don't? Oh.
Minister that got people thinking he might throw a concert or
I don't know. But it was catchy.
It was very catchy.
I mean, he did say, as I mentioned, that he was a very close friend with Shine Barrow. He said his original brother. So I don't know, maybe that connection has to do with music. But this has been an interesting year, I think, for Vybz Kartel, because you would know, April, that he was incarcerated in prison for the past 13 years under the allegation of murder of a man. I believe his name was Lizard Williams. But that has since changed. He has been vindicated in some way, and now he's released and living the rest of his life with his partner that you are seeing there on screen as well. Both of them have intentions of visiting Belize, and as I said, a lot of Belizeans do love and enjoy his music, so this is certainly buzzing.
All right, and moving on into another topic that's what's buzzing is a little bit more near and dear to Sabrina's heart, as I found out. I didn't know. I was scrolling through social media and trying to figure out what would be, I think, a good topic for Fun Fridays, and the topic of Coca-Cola.
Not so much Coca-Cola,
Coca-Cola and the
zero drinks. The sugarless drinks.
The sugarless drink, the zero drinks. Because for me, I look at these labels and I know that there is still some form of sugar, there is still some form of calorie in it. I'm not a fan of zero-calorie, sweetless drinks, carbonated drinks, but Sabrina is, and I was very surprised to hear that. But I don't normally drink these things, but apparently, you know, they would still contribute to weight gain, regardless of their zero sugar.
So we're gonna quickly play that report that was done and shared last night by CNN, and then we're gonna have a quick chat after. So this one's for you zero drink lovers.
Well, this week we asked our audience what questions they had specifically about sugar substitutes. Many of you had questions. Alex in Chicago wrote this: "You regularly hear people say that people who use zero-calorie sweeteners instead of sugar tend to gain more weight than those who just use sugar. This is especially true of diet soda. Is that true? If it is, why is that? Is it psychological?" Let me explain this. 2023 study by the researchers at the University of Minnesota. Interesting study. They followed 3,000 men and women over 20 years, so a really long-term study. And they found that the long-term use of things like saccharin and aspartame in diet drinks were associated with increased levels of fat, this visceral fat that's stored in the body. Now again, this may seem counterintuitive, but sugar substitutes can actually play tricks on the brain. Think of it like this: even though you just ate something sweet, the sugar substitute, you haven't gotten the associated calories with that. So as a result, you may start to forage for those calories. It's why some people drink diet sodas throughout the day, but then start to go scavenging for ice cream late at night. Because these sugar substitutes are often low to zero calories, our bodies aren't quite satisfied in the same way that the same amount of calorie-dense sugar can satisfy. And all of that, sadly, Alex, can lead to overeating and gaining weight.
All right, well, there you have it. So we've been having quite a discussion on this both last night and this morning. And just to give you some context, I do love Coke, but I love Diet Coke and Zero Sugar Coke. And what they did not know is I love it so much so that sometimes 6 o'clock in the morning I show up to work, not with coffee in my cup, but diet soda in my cup.
You know, I found that very interesting when you said that, because I am somebody that I'm a caffeine addict. I'm very much a coffee lover, but I am not that big of a fan of the sugars. So things like even regular Coke, Diet Coke, 0 calorie Coke, that's not something that I would go to the store and buy. I don't put sugar in my coffee. So sugars, to me, I've always learned that is something that no matter how you spin it, sugar is sugar and it's still bad for you in certain spaces. So I don't take it at all.
So and this was the rationale that I gave myself when I started drinking diet soda or sugar-free sodas, because I did admit to you that I wasn't such a big fan of sodas in general until I really got serious this year on my fitness journey. And I told you guys all of this in January, that I would take my fitness and my health seriously. And I've been doing it, guys.
She has been doing the work, guys. She has.
That aside, I wanted to find something that feels kind of normal. And I wanted to drink a soda whenever I feel like, you know, I'm crushing it. I deserve a diet soda. So that's why I began, and now I'm sort of hooked.
So what did you think about this article then?
Yeah, so I want to get to that. What I will say is that when a lot of people are having the conversation about sugar-free drinks, I think what they need to remember is that there is sugar in there. It's just not the regular sugar that we would know and enjoy and love and are also addicted to. I believe it's like diabetic sugar, like the stevias and whatnot. So for me, I consume those as well in my coffee and my tea. So even though I might be drinking it in sodas, in Coca-Cola and whatnot, I can't exactly say that I'm avoiding it in other areas because I do drink it in my tea, and there are diabetics who also rely on that.
And that was a good way to spin the conversation, Sabrina, because these are the quote-unquote substitutes that persons with diabetes and so forth. So what does that mean for them and their diabetic journey? Because they also have, and we always talked about this here, where we have this issue of cholesterol and sugar intake and so forth in Belize, and that's why we have a high rate of diabetes. But even so, when you are talking about these non-sugary substitutes and so forth, is it then nearly impossible for these persons that have things like diabetes to lose weight?
Well, here's the thing. I think as much as it might be challenging, the point to mention here is that you're still not consuming the regular sugar. So you're not going to get that blood sugar spike. It's also calorie less. So as much as your mind might, or your brain might process it in that appealing way, the way that regular sugar would, because a lot of people say that Diet Coke or sugar-free Cokes taste completely different.
I don't
to me,
like
it tastes
them.
the same,
No,
honestly.
I really don't like them.
I love it.
It's not, no, I just take your regular sugar.
Paul would be backing me up right now.
Just take your regular
sugar. Just like
sugar.
me, Paul has an equal obsession with diet soda. I found out, actually.
I find it strange that we are having this conversation and so forth. Not in like a negative way, but it's one of those things where we're talking about sugar addiction, persons that need to have this type of sweet and so forth, and what it does to your body, what it does to your diet and your health. And for many doctors will tell you just you do without it. Right? And it is hard. It is hard because how can you drink coffee without sugar?
Well, there's a lot of people that enjoy
but how can
coffee.
you take certain things without this sweet? I am somebody that if I want, pancakes or something like that, I'll use the natural honey, because fine, to me that does better for you. But then when we had Shala Leslie on the show, she's like, people are allergic to honey. So some people are allergic to honey. So what do you do, and how do we counterbalance? Now we find out that these things might actually not be good for your diet at all. And
so my understanding of the report isn't necessarily that it's not good for you. It's that the brain might trick itself to believe that it is sugar, and because of that, the craving still continues.
So it's a psychological
calorie-free, it's still sugar-free. Like I said, it's calorie-free. So if you understand the science of gaining weight and losing weight, you don't gain the extra calories, or you don't get the extra calories. And it also won't spike your blood sugar. So people with insulin issues, it won't affect that.
Yeah.
But in your mind, you still want that donut after or later on throughout the day. So you still
think that it's sugar. Well, your brain thinks that it's sugar.
I'll tell you this though, I don't find myself having crazy sugar cravings like that. I watched the video last night and I was a little bit disappointed. I sent it to my gym trainer and I went home and I had a salad and a diet soda.
Because at the end of the day, we are who we are as humans. But tell us what you think about this particular video. I really like watching this segment on CNN with Sanjay Gupta, because he does have all of these different topics and so forth when it comes to different discoveries and research in health science. So
yeah,
I like to watch that part of CNN. But tell us, viewers, what do you think about this video? Are you a zero Coke drinker, a Diet Coke drinker, Splenda drinker? Tell us what you think in the comment section below.
I want to know who's riding with me that enjoys Coke Zero. Please, I need to at least have someone on my team.
It's not that it's not enjoyable. I am one of those people that do think it tastes different. Like I'm not a Coke drinker in general, so regular Coke, Diet Coke, it really doesn't matter. But I can taste a difference between a regular and a Diet Coke.
It's not that bad, and it's really, to me, it's good. I've gotten used to it. Anyways, moving into our final What's Buzzing topic, and that's because it's going to be buzzing until the end of the season.
Yes.
And that's KTV The Remix. I know that a lot of people missed this week. We did too. But KTV The Remix will be coming back to your television sets and at the Bliss next week, Tuesday. Wonderful. And we want to remind you guys that you can start purchasing those tickets. I believe it is too late to vote for your favorite.
Yes, the voting's closed from last week's Sundays.
But it's going to be an exciting night. I believe it will be R&B night.
R&B. You know what? I cannot wait.
I can't wait to
hear some of these. I want people to go old school R&B. Though the new R&Bs. I don't know if it's even R&B, but I need to hear me some classic R&B. I need some Usher in my life. You know, I need some Mary J. Blige in my life. That's what I want to hear.
It's going to be beautiful, and I'm really looking forward to it. Paul and myself, we were just talking yesterday, April, saying that this is the part of the competition where the tensions rise, it's getting a lot harder, and these contestants have to make sure that every time they get on that stage, they give 110%, because it really matters now. You would know that there's a lot on the line. It's $10,000. And these contestants, they all deserve it. They're all amazing singers, but of course there's only one that can win.
And so we are gonna still have an elimination process this coming Tuesday, and then after that we have our 3 finalists.
Yeah.
Wow, already it's coming by very quickly. So don't forget to come on by here at the Channel 5 studio on Coney Drive to purchase their ticket, or at the 88 Shopping Center. And if you can't catch it in person, tune in to KTV The Remix Facebook page and on YouTube to watch it live.
All right. Well, we do got the rest of the show to jump into April, and this week we have I want to say this might be our first eye-opener for the week.
We did an eye-opener on Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
so
we
began our motivation with the week, and we're going to end our week with motivation.
Yes. And of course, our eye-opener is taken from dailyom.com. And this one looks a little bit long, so
we're going to do it together. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll begin. The intense emotional flare-up you experience just before you are set to challenge yourself is often a mixture of both excitement and fear.
Our capacity to cope successfully with life's challenges far outweighs our capacity to feel nervousness. Yet in the weeks, days, and hours leading up to an event that we believe will test our limits, we can become anxious. We then become increasingly worked up until the moment of truth arrives, and we discover that our worry was all for nothing. We're almost always stronger and more capable than we believe ourselves to be. But anxiety is not rational in nature, which means that in most cases we cannot work through it using logic as our only tool. Reason can help us recognize the relative futility of unwarranted worry. But more often than not, we will find more comfort in patterns of thought and activity that redirect our direction to practical or engaging matters.
Most of us find it remarkably difficult to focus on two distinct thoughts or emotions at once. And we can use this natural human limitation to our advantage when trying to stay centered in the period leading up to a potentially tricky experience. When we concentrate on something unrelated to our worry, such as deep breathing, visualizations of success, pleasurable pursuits or exercise, anxiety dissipates naturally. Meditation is also a useful coping mechanism as it provides us with a means to ground ourselves in the moment. Our guides can aid us by providing us with a focal point completely outside of our own sphere.
The intense emotional flare-up you experience just before you are set to challenge yourself is often a mixture of both excitement and fear. When you take steps to eliminate the fear, you can more fully enjoy the excitement. Though you may find it difficult to avoid getting worked up, your awareness of the forces acting on your feelings will help you return to your center and accept that very few of the hurdles you will face will be as high as they at first appear.
This is a beautiful eye-opener.
I like this one.
And I couldn't help but reflect on the two spaces that the space that I was in and the space that I am currently now. As it relates to my challenge with anxiety, that has been something that I've shared publicly with viewers and even friends and family. Last year, I found myself feeling like I had absolutely no control and no ability to control and find a balance when it comes to regulating these emotions when it do come up. This year, though, I find myself in a place of recognizing that, just like the title, I am much more stronger than I know. And because of that, I am able to reflect now and give myself and others that are currently challenging with anxiety and with self-doubt and with worry of what will be taking place in the future, not having control. I can give them a lot more grace, and I can give myself a lot more grace. I found ways to center myself using exercise, using bits of meditation, and I can say that it is helpful.
Indeed. I 100% agree, Sabrina. But we do got to move on with our show for this morning. And the weather has been funky. I'm not sure about here in Belize.
That's one way to look at it.
In Belize City, I don't know if it's just as weird here as it is in Belmopan. But let's find out that weather update from the folks at the National Meteorological Service.
Good morning. Generally fair weather today and tonight will support cloudy spells with isolated showers or thunderstorms, except for a few more over southern areas tonight. A similar trend will follow Saturday and Saturday night. Winds today along the coast and over the open sea forecast, no significant increases in sargassum amounts are expected over the area during the next few days. And in the tropical weather update, at 6 o'clock this morning, Hurricane Ernesto was located near 28.9 north, 66.5 west, or about 255 miles south-southwest of Bermuda. The system had maximum sustained winds of 100 miles per hour and was moving north-northeast at 13 miles per hour. And that's the latest from the Belize Weather Bureau. Do have a pleasant day.
Right, it is a good thing that she updated us on Hurricane Ernesto because, like I mentioned, we are still in the hurricane season. We're going through the names as we're seeing. We're already at E, so don't forget to still be safe out there. Still ensure that you have your preparedness plan ready and available. But we have our wonderful Fun Friday show lined up for you all. And with our first conversation, we'll be talking to Mr. Lucian Dawson about his business accelerator program for entrepreneurs to start and upscale their businesses.
And in our second segment, this is for anyone who has ever dreamed about being in a movie. In our second segment, we'll be introducing a new movie casting call from the creators of No Matter What. Are you familiar with that?
Oh yeah.
I loved No Matter What.
Yeah.
Oh my
That is
gosh.
childhood, high school
Yes, it
days.
is.
Oh my.
So the people who were the creators of No Matter What, they are having a casting call for a new movie. We'll be talking about that and who they're looking for.
And wrapping up our Fun Friday, it's all about cocktails for Manatees fundraiser. And we'll have Jamal Galvez, the Manatee man, in studio to tell us all about it and much, much more. But we do got to take that first break. And when we come back, it's all about entrepreneurs, small businesses, accelerator program with Mr. Lucian Dawson. Don't go away.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize!
Hey there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't leave this plan. I can't leave this plan.
Child marriage is not just a legal issue, it's a matter of human rights and a form of gender-based violence. It often emerges from cultural beliefs and influence of closed-minded relatives, depriving children of their basic human rights to freedom, security, education, and a voice.
My name is Nayeli Yakab. I'm the coordinator of the Benke House of Culture Niche. Before the Belize Bank online service, I had to travel to San Ignacio because we don't have a Belize Bank branch in our community. Now with the service, I can conduct my transactions at the office, at the comfort of my home, just anywhere in the world. It has made my life much easier. I would recommend the Belize Bank digital services to everyone and anyone. It gives you back your time, it's highly reliable, it's available 24/7, and it just makes your life easier.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. We're having our first conversation this morning, and as we mentioned, it's all about Lucian Dawson's, founder of Run Free Belize Accelerator program. Now he'll be here to talk to us about not only how to launch your business, but how to have it run the proper way. Lucian, thank you so much for joining us.
morning.
And
morning.
Welcome. Loving the energy.
I love the energy. I love
that.
the
Good
socks.
morning.
Oh, thank
I
you
love
very
the
much.
socks. I love the energy. He came to play.
And he smells good too, guys. I wish you could smell him from here. But yes, we're here to talk about Run Free Belize. Now, Lucian, we know you as being passionate about many different topics. I recognize your work in men's mental health, but you are also heavily invested in entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Run Free
Okay,
Belize.
let me start where the impetus came from. So last year I was terminated from my job, and it really took me on a path of knowing who I was. I began to realize I didn't know who I was. And there are a lot of people out here who is in that corporate rat race. And the corporate life is a rat race, really.
It is.
They call it the hamster wheel.
It
Yes,
is.
because what happens is you get a degree, you get a job, you do well in that job, and then they start moving the goalpost on you, which seems rather unfair. So when there was a decision for me to part ways with my last full-time job, one of the things that came out, or one of the heavy themes that came out from my lovely wife was, stop searching for a job, start your own business. And I had already started several businesses, although I was a full-time employee at the same time. And I was so scared, like I know where that, like that is a stressor, because you don't know, okay, let me say it this way. The paycheck is like a bad drug, right?
Yeah, you need it.
And what it does, what I realized throughout my own journey is that the paycheck for me, this is not for everyone, the paycheck for me was a bad addiction. And it actually impeded me from pursuing what my purpose is.
I want you to continue, but I do want to stick up in there, because I think in that particular space and sphere, the addiction also comes from a necessity, not just for the paycheck, but for life in general.
That's a great point.
And I find that most people that come out of their out of the university that go into these corporate jobs have loans already. They're already in debt before they, before they're 30.
Yes.
So it's a necessary
It's
drug.
a necessary drug.
So it's a necessary drug, yes. You're completely correct. But also, what I had found out throughout my journey is that there are spaces for us to make our own opportunities. It may take us longer, it may be harder, but it does not negate the fact that there is the space for us to build our own doors. In some cases, we have to build a whole structure, plus the door, plus the table, and the chairs.
Lucian, I just want to stick up in there, because I think it's so important that you started this conversation with the backstory.
Yes.
And for a lot of people that may be interested in starting a business, they probably have a similar story as you do.
Yes.
Both young and older.
Yes.
So you decided to build your own structure that includes the door and the window. What happens next?
So I started doing my own thing. So I do marketing consultancy and I do event planning.
Okay.
One of the things that I found out is that there are a lot of people out here, or there's a lot of room for me to have collaborated with a lot of other entrepreneurs. It's not a silo thing. And that's one of the next things is, who is in your corner, and celebrate them. And I had to learn to do that. I had to learn to appreciate people. I had to learn to cherish relationships. When I was in the corporate rat race, relationships were second nature to me. If you're in my way, I would
crush you. That's the reality.
And that was like anybody who knows me or knew me back then knew that, don't stand in Lucian way. Like,
it's such and I don't understand the corporate world, because academia is different, but kind of have that same nuance as well. But we need the people. So where you guys have to kind of crush the competition, we need the network in order to succeed.
Yeah, we too. We need the network as well, but we have to. It's a funny game. It's more a political game more than anything else, right? Anyways, I got tired of the politics as well. I had to do a lot of prayer, a lot of fasting, and meeting other business owners. So I traveled the country. I met I see you guys drink Oshmo coffee, which is the best coffee in Cairo.
Yes, it really is. It's so underrated.
I know James personally, Hey Abs.
Yes.
Hey Abs and I, we're in communication for that. Hopefully I could get time to be a mentor in this program.
Yes, she would be fabulous.
There is this clay jeweler by the name of Gems of Belize, and she's also good. And one of the things that I had found is that there is a space. So the Run Free program is really offering an opportunity for those who may be in the rat race, want to escape the rat race, and say, you know what, I need to start my business.
I really love this. I think that when you said it's so scary to start over, and I think a lot of people that are addicted to the necessary drug don't know if it's a good idea to up and quit. I remember when I quit my job, I had no backup plan. I was just...
We don't promote that, guys.
No. I know, please do have a backup plan. But what I'm trying to say is that the mental exhaustion that took over, I wait till I got to that point of making an emotional decision for my mental health instead of having a backup plan, which is the case a lot of the time.
Well, let me say it this way too, because for my mental health too, my wife recognized that this isn't for you. You have to evaluate yourself. The funny thing is, April, when I hear you talking, I hear the opportunity in the crisis. And that is what this program is about.
Right. Yeah.
Honing in on the opportunity in the crisis. You lost your job, you feel like you're in a rut mentally, how do I get out of it? This program offers that space for you to explore that.
So let's talk about what happens in your program.
Okay, so the Run Free program is set to last 16 weeks. This is the inaugural. So I need 10 persons to sign up and say that I am interested. I have partnered with two international organizations. One, Business as Missions, Live Global, and Creating Jobs, Inc. Now, I had to be certified as a facilitator in these programs. And so what we do, we go from the start book to grow book and then building wealth.
Okay.
Now, all of this is biblically based, and everybody says, how does the Bible and wealth fit together? Well, when you think about King Solomon in the Bible, who was the wisest man, I mean, yes, I saw that face, April. I know what Solomon is known for, his wives and his concubines, right? But what a lot of people don't champion was his wisdom. And when the Queen of Sheba came to visit him, yes, we all get grappled in the love story and what happens there, but Sheba was attracted to his wisdom and showered him with gifts so that she could have gotten a piece of that wisdom.
That's how you know a man write the story. Anyways,
I think it's interesting though that you paint that picture, Lucian, because it shows that the Bible and different stories have so many layers than just what we see on the surface.
Yeah, and so like April said, we know a man write the story, but we're getting a different discussion.
That's not Run Free.
That's not. You think about Joseph, who was sold into slavery by his brothers and became, the prime minister of Egypt. The Bible goes on to say what he went through to store those foods, and he ended up making Egypt a world power in the end, because what happened, they had so much grain that they were able to sell
they were
outside.
exporting.
They were exporting. So there are many of these concepts in the Bible, and a lot of people just read the Bible and see the Bible as something, it's going to bring me down, I feel condemned. That's not what the Bible is about.
You can interpret it in many different ways.
Exactly, and there is principles, especially for entrepreneurs, like for example, if you don't know how to serve, you have no business being an entrepreneur. Jesus himself said, you need to be the least of these so that you can be the greatest. If I am in this business and I don't know how to serve, I have no business. go into your corporate job.
So, go on the rat race. So you have been able to secure partnerships with 2 international organizations that will be providing essentially some form of mentorship to individuals or to small business entrepreneurs who are either looking to start a business or to further develop their business. All right. I wanted to ask you, Lucian, because I imagine that there are individuals still in the corporate world who have that same itching feeling that this is not for them, but they don't have a business idea, but they just know that they need to get out and they want to have a business in the future. What do you say to that person?
Well, I like to say, you know what drives you? Explore what drives you. I like to hear the argument when people say, I don't have a business idea. Then you get to talk to them and they would say, you know, I've always loved the concept of hair and making wigs. And I'm like, that's a business. Or some of them, oh, I just finished university and I pursued this special degree in whatever, and what. There is a space for you to make your business. One of the biggest business that I see growing in Belize is consultancy work.
Yes.
It is a race in of itself, but there are spaces that enough consultants can get jobs everywhere.
Do you? I'm listening to you, and I find that some people do take consultancy for granted, or they don't think they need it, and all of that stuff. But what I'm also gathering is that Belize is already a small country with, I think, about 60 or 70% of businesses being small business, MSMEs, and entrepreneurs and so forth, not big corporations. When we're thinking about opening a small business, do we have the capacity to kind of maintain a healthy competitive balance with 70% being small businesses and MSMEs?
I firmly believe that there is the space for us. I think the way how we're looking at it is, wow, it's 70%. We're not looking at the collaborative opportunities that also exist in the space as well. A lot of the times we as business owners or entrepreneurs, and there's a difference between the two, by the way, and as business owners and entrepreneurs, we tend to think in a silo. We think, oh, it's my idea and I need to see this through, and not realizing that, you know, I have April and Sabrina right in my court. Let me pitch it to them. They are the experts in whatever area. Maybe you're an expert in anthropology, you're an expert in communications. I need those things in my business. How do I collaborate with both of you guys? And I've seen personally where I've gained more income pulling in more people rather than operating in a silo. Like my biggest project, which was one of my first projects that I got, you know, I employed over 12 to 15 people.
Wow. Let's go back to Run Free Belize, because I'm excited for you. I really am. So right now you're looking to have persons in your program. And you said you need 10 people in it. So far you have 2, 3.
I have about 4 persons, and I'm looking for more persons.
How can they get a hold of you and apply?
So they can send me an email at ministry@lucianfitzgerald.com, or they can follow me at Run Free Belize on Instagram, and they could private message me there on Instagram as well.
Is there any specific type of business that you're looking for, or is it just anyone with an idea and is willing to?
If you have an idea and you feel like you have a calling to business, the door is open to you. If you want to be a consultant, a jewelry maker, a hairdresser, whatever it is, the door is open there.
I'm relatively interested in the fact that you focus on entrepreneurs and small business owners. Any space for NGOs, persons that are trying to start up something like a nonprofit organization?
Well, there is a space there for them as well. There is the entrepreneur side of the NGO spirit as well. I mean, you guys, NGOs, I applaud what they do on a daily basis. They have to literally fight tooth and nail for the funding. And
yeah. So 10 individuals or 10 businesses, 10 entrepreneurs sign up to Run Free Belize. What is the first thing that takes place when that, I guess, process is approved?
So once they sign up, then the training begins, all right? And the first step of the training is discovering you. That is the first module. You have to explore you. A lot of people walk around and they don't know who they are, and then they jump in a lot of things, and then they don't know why it doesn't work. And the reason a lot of the times that it doesn't work, necessarily it's not because you have a bad idea, but it's because you have a bad approach to the idea.
That makes sense, because I've said to myself I could never be an entrepreneur because I don't have a business mind. I always cycle myself in that way. I don't think.
But do you budget?
No.
But you know what jobs to apply for, or
Yes, in my field, yes.
So don't ever say you don't have a business mind.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So that's step one, knowing who you are.
Exactly.
So 16 weeks, and the first step is discovering who you are and your direction.
Yes.
What goes after?
And then we explore the other aspects of the business. But the first thing is you, then we explore how to start the business. So we explore things like understanding people, understanding how to serve them, and then we go into how to grow and how to implement your idea.
Okay.
At the end of this program as well, you will finish with a brand spanking new business plan.
So I have
Wonderful.
16 weeks is very specific. It's literally a course.
Yes.
So do they get a certificate?
Yes,
certified?
you do get a certificate at the end of the program. As well, all the materials are provided for you.
Do they have to do like modules? And
Yes, it is in a module form.
But I think what's most important in this is the opportunity of having a structured business plan as well. Because a lot of people go into entrepreneurship with an idea, something that they want to take on, but without proper structure, that could also be a recipe for failure.
Yes.
How would you say, or how important would you say a business plan is, Lucien?
I think a lot of times we look at these plans and we see samples on the internet. I think Dr. Google sometimes messes up.
A lot of people.
And we look at the business plan as this hindrance to our business rather than how it can enhance our business. First of all, let me say this. If your business plan cannot be summarized in a page, it's not a good business plan.
That's interesting.
That's interesting.
That's very
indeed.
interesting. But if it can't, any plans that you do, an operational plan, a business plan, a marketing plan, which are those main three that people tend to do, if you can't summarize it in a page, I mean, you read a lot. If you can't summarize a book in a page, you know that's not a good book.
Okay. That's a good way of selling it to me, because in my mind, when you have a business plan, you need like 10 pages to explain something.
And a full layout.
A full layout,
Yes. So this really brings it down to, it explores the nitty-gritty, but it also makes it palatable for anybody to do it. You know, because I've been on teams that written business plans, and I've seen the prices that corporations pay for them.
But you know, one of the things that, you asked me if I know how to budget and all of that stuff, which is, I imagine these are all going to be conversations and part of the program and so forth. But honestly, Lucien, when you want to do any kind of startup, you do need money and you do need finances. If I am starting at zero, how am I supposed to even start a business plan?
So there are things that I am working on that I can't say as yet when it comes to that side. I don't want anybody to say, oh, we're offering this as yet. But one of the beauty of this, I forgot also, one of the steps in the training is how to formalize your business.
Okay.
So they will also end up, if they want to pursue full-time, they know how to formalize their business. So one of the things, April, is that we will show them how to look for the finances. And there are opportunities out there like, Beltrade in collaboration with CARICOM Development Fund and the Office of the Prime Minister just launched an entrepreneurial BEEP.
Yes, I heard
right?
about BEEP.
They just launched BEEP. I was at the launch of BEEP. Right? And there are other programs out there that entrepreneurs can take advantage of to expand, scale, or start their business.
You also mentioned something that I think was important to highlight, that a lot of these bigger businesses, they pay a hefty amount of money for business plans. This is an investment, obviously, that they would be making.
Yes.
But in the case of Run Free Belize, is this also an investment that these entrepreneurs will be taking as well?
It is an investment.
Yes.
Let's talk about
Nora
it.
It is an
April,
investment.
Nora April, that I have to price, right? Because we do have partners, the point is that you need to invest some amount of money. So it will be $20 per 4-week program. So at the end of the day, it's just only $80
Wow.
that you'll pay for a 16-week program.
That's That's not even
Really
a
good.
credit
Hour. Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow. So really you're gonna get a whole lot more with
Yes.
$80 at the end of
Yes,
60 days.
exactly.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So for persons who are interested, again, how can they reach out to you to take advantage of this
Send me
opportunity?
an email to ministry@Lucian Fitzgerald. That's LucienFitzgerald.com and or send me a private message on my Instagram page, Run Free Belize. More information will be posted as we come to the inauguration of that.
And
There
when is
isn't
that
a
date?
timeline for it as yet because there are a couple other things that we're working out. But let me say it this way. My intent is that I start by the end of September.
Okay.
So,
And you mentioned something earlier that you have now recognized the power of collaboration. Is this something that you are also open to? Perhaps more established businesses would like to reach out to you and partner.
Yes, if you would like to sponsor, also send me an email to that email address. I would love your partnership. Let's partner and let's see how we could build more entrepreneurs. Really, they are the driving forces. And one of the things that I have come to respect also, even when I was in the corporate race, was the hustle of the entrepreneurs, and I would always advocate for them.
Yeah.
So this had always been a precious part of my heart, to see entrepreneurs thrive. So when I see someone having a small business in multimedia or stuff like that, I would always advocate for them. So yeah, send me an email if you guys would like to partner with me locally. I would need the funding as well.
Yes,
Wonderful.
and congratulations to you, Lucian.
Thank you.
Have such an inspiring story in more ways than one. And I know that a lot of entrepreneurs and future entrepreneurs will benefit not only from your story, but from now a platform that you are providing
Yes.
for them.
Yes.
Congratulations.
So congratulations.
Thank
again.
you very much.
All right. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, as we mentioned, this one is also for you people who might want to tap into Hollywood because there is an upcoming movie audition. We're going to be giving you all that detail when we come back.
Wake up! Wake up! Now which cheese you think you may eat all the while? Gaio cheese with the blue rooster on the label is the traditional and the real deal. The original Dutch, redback or hard cheese in a Belize. Be aware. Check your label and make sure it is in English and for the Belize market. Gaio cheese with the blue rooster. The real deal. Santiago Castillo Limited, supporting and building our Belizean community for 95 years and counting.
Gaia Edam Dutch cheese, aged and tropicalized, the best formula for the Belize market, exclusively distributed by Santiago Castillo Limited.
Technology is ubiquitous, and it's transforming how, when, and where we work. Fulltech Systems is placing award-winning devices in the hands of information workers, allowing them to work without compromise in a world without wires, to innovate, create, and to maximize productivity anytime, anywhere, satisfying the needs of the desk-centric remote and field worker and every other worker in between. We are providing the industry's best devices to businesses going through the process of digital transformation. Partner with us today to provide the solutions that will allow your employees to work effectively and efficiently to enhance your customers' experience. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
Let's take a journey through the core functions of the Social Security Board. It all starts with registering as an insured person, employer, or self-employed individual. Sign up for a portal account to manage your Social Security information online. Just provide accurate information and click Create. This will give you access to a range of services and benefits. Next, your contribution, along with investments and other income, are collected and distributed into 3 funds. This ensures that the SSB fund is securely utilized to support various benefit programs. The SSB is committed to providing essential benefits such as sickness, maternity, injury, and pension. These benefits are paid out to eligible individuals as a part of the Social Security coverage. We help you navigate through life's challenges with financial security. Annual surplus accumulates to grow the fund each year. This surplus is invested into various industries, contributing to the growth and development of our nation. With each passing year, the fund continues to grow due to the annual surplus and interest revenue earned from prudent investments. This surplus, along with reserves, helps to bolster the SSB fund and provide a safety net for those in need. We've arrived at the end of our journey to better understanding how the SSB works. We remain committed to serving you and building a secure future for all Belizeans.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. Joining us for our second conversation, Sabrina and I were fangirling a little bit just now. But we do have the creators of No Matter What. And they're here to talk about another movie that they're hoping to produce here in Belize. And joining us, we do have director and writer, Mr. Steve Berry. Good morning.
Good morning, and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Welcome to Open Your Eyes. It's your first time on this morning
show?
No, I believe I've been here
many moons ago.
Yeah, during the No Matter What days. And also when we did the sitcom, Living My Life. We did a sitcom as well. It didn't take off as well as the drama did, but it was.
No Matter What was a staple in the Belizean home. I remember coming home and tuning into Channel 5 to watch the episodes as they were airing live. And then Sabrina.
Yeah, I was telling her that I not only watched it on TV, just like she did, but we loved it so much that we bought the DVD.
Right?
Yeah,
did you buy the authentic DVD or did you go bootleg?
No. We had like the original that with the case had the different seasons.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, because
we really supported it.
Bootlegging hurt us.
It was big back then, yes.
But it was a huge, I think the momentum of having Belizean actors on screen for a series, a show that was competitive to like Days of Our Lives or something like that, in our view anyway.
And I think it was, just as you mentioned, it was the storytelling, because at that time, I don't even know that cable was such a big thing. The things that we watched at that time was the soaps that were on TV, regular TV. And that was our Belizean soap opera.
Yeah, well, we are talking about having it's hard to believe, a 20th anniversary screening or event next year. 2025.
That's crazy. 20 years.
I told you we missed small. We probably shouldn't have made it watch No Matter What. But.
No, it was fine. But you are here again to talk about more opportunities for young and older actors. As we mentioned, we have known and loved your work in No Matter What and other projects that you've had after that. But there's also a new project that you're here to talk about, which will also be an opportunity for current and aspiring actors.
Yes, it's called Clutches. It's going to be a feature-length film, and it is a Caribbean murder mystery with a supernatural slant.
Okay, you need to sell this to me a little bit more than that. So let's talk about inspiration and storyline.
Okay, inspiration and storyline. Well, I mean, I actually wrote the script a while ago, but the germ, I guess, of the story came one night. Actually, I don't remember if it was a night or morning, but I was laying in bed. I remember I was laying in bed one morning on that night. It was, I was by myself and I was lonely, and for whatever reason, I got to think, I was laying there, and I said, what if some arms just raised out the bed and grabbed me?
No.
Don't ask me why I thought that, but that's what I thought. And then I said, So then I did like some reverse engineering. So, okay, so how would the arms get into the bed? And that's where the story kind of started to germinate from. And so I went back, and the basic story is about our main character is a young lady named Terry. She's just graduated from Howard University, where I taught television and film production for 26 years. And she just graduated from Howard University with her degree in journalism. And she goes to this fictitious island, Ator Island, the most beautiful place on the planet. And she finds out that she has inherited an estate from an aunt and uncle that she never knew she had. So she gets a job with the local newspaper and uses her, resources and her skills in journalism to find out what actually happened to her aunt and uncle. She finds out that they were part of this post-Diluvian cult that took an oath to rid the world of evil.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so some strange things happen, and she kind of picks up where they left off.
That sounds.
It sounds like my cup of tea.
Yeah.
It does. It definitely
sounds like there's a
something
little
I'd
bit of
watch.
horror in it.
Yeah.
Will there be some
more
scare?
thriller
Okay.
kind of a thing than actually horror.
And you said it's like a murder mystery type of vibe.
Well, this is unique.
It is. It is different from the other stories that you have produced here in
And
Belize.
this will be shot here in Belize as well.
Yes. We're looking forward to shoot it in Belize. In fact, I plan to use quite a few of the talent that I work with in No Matter What, and possibly Living My Life, in a lot of some of the major characters. And of course, there are some other characters that we're looking for. We always need extras and side personnel as well.
You mentioned that you taught film in.
Just let Randy over that man messing around with.
And of course, you came to Belize and you did this amazing more than one different productions, but. How has it been like working in the film industry in Belize and trying to generate actors, trying to generate producers, writers, and so forth? Because we don't necessarily have that type of schooling here.
Well, what's wonderful about it is that I could do things here that I could not do in the States. Like right now, being on this television show, phenomenal television show, you know how difficult it would be for me to get on a television show in the States. Plus it's a thing that it was amazing that like we would do a commercial. I was working with the producers, Denver Fairweather, 13 Productions, and like I'd do a commercial and we cut it and I'd hand off the tape and an hour later it's on television.
Wow.
Same like the No Matter What. When we first did those things, I'd finish it, put it, and it's on television. That can't. I won't say can't, but I don't know how that would happen over in the States.
But what's really interesting is how long you have been contributing to. I guess art in this way in Belize, and I have to ask, and perhaps other viewers are interested to know as well. What sparked your interest in doing this here in Belize? Do you have Belizean ties here? Are you half Belizean, quarter Belizean?
I have ties now, yes. I have Belizean ties. But, and some people have heard it before, but when I was in film school at UCLA back in the early 80s, I met this Belizean young lady. Okay, and I just remember she said something to me and we was talking. She just had the most beautiful accent I ever heard in life. I said, "Where are you from?" She said, "I'm from Belize." I said, "Belize? I had never heard of Belize." She said, "It used to be called British Honduras." I said, "Oh yeah, I've heard of British Honduras." So anyway, we had a very short friendship, maybe lasted a couple weeks.
Wow.
But we would talk about Belize. She talked about Belize, and for some reason, Belize just stayed with me.
Yeah.
And then at one point, I realized, or whenever I would hear something about Belize or see something about Belize, a little light would go off in my head. And then I started realizing that I had never seen a Belizean film or heard of a Belizean filmmaker. So my thought was, that I could come here, maybe do a production workshop, get the wave started. And so at some point, this was in the early 2000s, and it just seemed like the Belize just started calling to me. It's just come to Belize, come to Belize. So I finally did a tour package, booked a tour package, came out, and found out that the first written, produced, directed film of Belize was actually premiering at the Princess Hotel. Kim Vasquez's, I think it was Choices, I believe.
Wow.
But anyway, so I went to the premiere with the film commissioner, Emery King, and his wife. I met Kim, who ended up being a writer on No Matter What. And also the sitcom as well, Living My Life. And then I also found out that I just missed the first Belize International Film Festival. And so a connection that I had with the University of Belize got me in touch with Suzette Zayden. And we talked and we set up so I would come back at the second annual film festival and do the production workshop. And so I did that. Denver Fairweather, again, the producer, he took the workshop. At the end of the workshop, he said he'd like to do some more exciting, programs and asked if I'd be interested, and that was the germ.
That's amazing, the way that unfolded almost coincidentally as you took your first visit here in Belize. I know, as we mentioned, a lot of people recognize the title no matter what. We do know Denver Fairweather, who would have been the producer of many other projects since then. And he's actually, I believe he was a part of No Matter What as well too, right?
Yeah, we threw him in front of the camera, but that wasn't the funnest part. That was the most fun part.
What was the most fun part?
Him being behind the camera, making sure I had what I needed to make it.
And he's been sort of in that capacity since then too.
I mean, look at it. We're seeing a young Steve and a young Denver on screen right now.
Oh, the good old days.
Can you see yourself?
Can you see yourself on the screen?
Do you remember that moment?
No, that was too long ago.
And of course, now joining us in studio, we do have the producer himself, Mr. Denver Fairweather. Good morning.
I have to say, Mr. Fairweather, you look exactly the same.
You do.
I just see some little stubbles, but you look really the same in that video and here.
Okay, but I look old and decrepit, right?
Sabrina, you can't do one without the
have to
other.
do both. Both of you look exactly the same.
Good morning, Mr. Fairweather.
Good morning.
All right. And thank you so much for joining us as we were having the conversation with Steve, going down memory lane, talking about No Matter What, and it was such a great success. Now you are here collaborating again for your, was it Clutches. Let's talk about, he gave us the background story of, I guess, a sudden nightmare moment that happened to you in your sleep. Thriller meets sci-fi, cultural, phenomenal expressions here in Belize. But let's talk about now you guys collaborating again.
Yeah, all right, well, me and Steve, as I said, we made a good team with No Matter What. We set out when we did No Matter What to raise the level of creative TV programming in Belize. Now with this piece that Steve has written, it's a nice script, and it's something definitely that hasn't been done in Belize before. At least produced from Belize for the international market. We're trying to do what we did with No Matter What, where with No Matter What we try to show that we can tell Belizean stories in a professional manner that could have been exported. He did well with Belizean American and Caribbean American or Caribbean diaspora people. It didn't do as well with film festivals and then further distribution. Now with this project, we're looking to do another step up in terms of doing a film produced from Belize, primarily with Belizean talent, from home and abroad, for international distribution on streaming services, networks, and in theaters.
What I think was unique about No Matter What, and perhaps what brought a lot of interest from Belizeans here was the fact that these actors spoke in our dialect, in Creole. Is this something that we can expect from this movie as well?
Because we are targeting as wide a distribution as possible internationally, it's going to be done in English.
Okay.
But the cast will be Belizean for the most part.
Okay.
It will have a hint of Creole and the Caribbean dialect, but it will be dashes, sprinkling. It won't be, because what happened is that when Steve had cut some storylines, because as a dramatic series with No Matter What, we had like 3 or 4 storylines during the course of a season of 5 to 8 episodes, with different family members from the core family having their own circle and scenarios going on. And he cut some of those into shorts, 15-minute, 30-minute movies, and he took them to festivals or entered them in festivals, but they didn't do very well. And we found that, with the subtitles, but we found that the subtitles and the Creole was a part of the whole back in that. But we did well with people who understood Caribbean dialect and Creole.
Well, Mr. Steve brought up a contingent time period of celebrating 20 years now.
Of No Matter What.
And that the film industry in Belize has grown and expanded. I mean, we've had Belizean writers and animators win in film festivals. Now we have, I think, a couple of movies that were shot in Belize for the international arena, Netflix and all of that stuff. So how does now this particular film compete?
Well, I don't know. We look trying to. I don't know if we were necessarily trying to compete, as opposed to just basically add to what's come out. For instance, like I had mentioned, like I said, I'd never before I came here, I'd never heard of a Belizean Film Festival. My concept was to try to get something started. Like I said, when I came, I found it had already been started.
Yeah.
And so then my thought was to, especially when I connected with Denver, to help keep the waves. It's like what you just said. Since 20 years, has passed, and there has been a lot of productions that have come along out of Belize, and I'm hoping, and I can only trust that no matter what, and possibly even the production workshop that I did had something to do with that.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping and trusting that maybe my initial goal has been fulfilled.
Yeah,
I
believe so.
I think
I
so,
do believe so.
indeed.
But I want to talk about this new movie. So we're looking for talent. We're looking for actors, both male and female, for perhaps lead roles, but also filling and whatnot. Talk to us about when the casting call will be, and is there any specific type of individuals that you're looking for specific roles?
Denver, producer, take it.
Yes. Basically, the casting call will be at Bliss Institute from 1 to 6 p.m. tomorrow, Saturday,
Okay.
the 17th of August. And we have, as it can be seen on screen, a description of the roles. The flyer can also be seen on our Facebook page, 13 Productions Belize. So we're looking for characters. Give a description of some of the characters.
Okay, well again, the main character's name is Terry. Okay, and again, but she's actually American. She's American. So I'm looking for, I actually have someone in mind that would be perfect to play her from, over the States. But anyway, I don't know.
We can find people in Belize that can yak.
Okay, but
that's our second language.
The main thing with Terry, okay, with the main character is she has to kind of be not bipolar, but she has to play two different roles. Terry is a young, ambitious, just out of college, looking to start a career, and then when she is actually inhabited by the spirit of her aunt, she becomes this voluptuous, older, kind of a succubus type of character that seeks out these lewd, lascivious men and lures them back to the bed, so the bed can
Sounds kind of like
Ishtabai. It sounds like Ishtabai.
Yeah, it does sound.
It sounds like Ishtabai.
Ishtabai?
Yeah.
I haven't heard of that. I'm gonna have to look it up.
But yes,
You should look into our folklore, our Belizean folklore. I'm sure there's movies that would definitely kick off here in Belize.
Yeah.
People understanding visually what that was like.
But I love that there is like a list here. I think we were showing it on the screen. But you're not just looking for, you don't just describe the character and their storyline in the film, but you're describing personalities.
Right.
And is this something that you normally do when you have a casting call?
Yeah, generally you just say this is the name, this is the age, this is the general. Sometimes you actually have if there's a specific look that you're going for, kind of put the look. But sometimes though, someone will come in and it's nothing like you ever even imagined. But they will take the script, they can take the words, and they would do something with it that you just never imagined. Say, no, that's it. That's better than anything I ever thought.
Yeah.
Right.
Will they be reading parts of the story or the script to see if it's something that matches, or to see if their performance matches what you guys have in mind?
Yeah. What we've done is that for people who are interested in auditioning, it's an open casting call, so anybody can come in. And we've gotten a lot of interest so far, and so we do have people lined up. But we're open to anybody, both Belizeans living in Belize and people of Belizean heritage that live in the States that have a professional acting resume.
If I want to come
to also get in contact with us, because we want as robust a cast as possible, because we want this movie to be the highest level production done from Belize, and with the highest distribution internationally. I mean, we've had movies done in Belize that were produced by foreign studios and foreign producers. I'm not necessarily up to date with everything that has been done from Belize by locals, but as I said, we want to take it another step up, like what we did with No Matter What at that time in Belize. But we want to do this for the international stage.
Do you have to be a professional actor or have any experience in acting to apply for this?
No. Basically, you have some people who are just naturals. For example, Miss Carrie never acted before, and she was granted a master in No Matter What. Steve met her actually informally through somebody, and she had that
No, I met her when we cast her for another role.
Oh, yeah, like
we cast her for one of the little side roles, and she did so good. I told Denver, I said, Denver, she should be Granny Tomasa, man. She should be Granny Tomasa. So, and then the Granny Tomasa that we had cast ended up not working out, so we just brought her in, and that was one of the best.
But Miss Carey she became heart and soul of that series.
Yes.
In real life and behind the scenes.
Yes. So if I want to audition for this, it's tomorrow at 1 p.m.
1 to 6. And what we are asking people to do is call 610-1313 if they're interested, or message me. And then I'll send them the scripts of a couple of scenes for them to prepare. And basically what we're looking out for is who presents the role in a way that brings the character to life or even exceeds what Steve's vision is.
Yeah, and we'll have the sides. They're called sides, which is just the scenes from the script that they'll read with, and also several of the cast members from No Matter What, that we plan to work with again will also be there, to play the roles that we already know that we want, so they can actually interact with, the people that we already have in mind for some of the other roles.
How long will production, something like this production-wise, take to put together, filming-wise?
Well, the actual shooting on location would be somewhere between 3 weeks and a month, which we're looking to do between November and December once everything is locked in. But in terms of pre-production, basically we're on the ground running from now. So we're doing the first step, which is casting. I'm doing stuff behind the scenes. We're also looking for locations.
Scouting. Yeah, we're doing a lot of location scouting.
Because the primary location for Terry is supposed to be like a mansion, and I'm thinking a colonial style mansion from Belize. And so we've been on the ground knocking on some doors, trying to find like a building that has the look.
But also got to be kind of a spooky kind of looking mansion. Can't just be one
kind of like an aged building that looked like there was wealth there.
Yeah, we found a couple nice places that could work. But also my concept is it actually sits all by itself out, in the not in the bush, but it's sitting up on a hill. I see this little road running up this hill, and then it's sitting right there on the hill.
So it's anybody who has a nice age building with some character that think it could work. We'd basically like to get a look at it, and then we'd make arrangements and pay a location fee when we were there. We are also Steve is providing the seed funding for this project. However, we want to give it the highest end production value in terms of crew, and as I said, if we could bring in some Belizeans with resumes, international acting resumes that could then bolster the production value of the project and enable us to basically get better distribution. We are open to them contacting us as well. So we are doing the local casting call, but we're open to actors with experience and people who have family members in the States that have acting resume and would like to do a project in Belize to get in contact with us and to be involved. We're also open to getting some additional executive producers on the project who would provide financing to expand the production value.
Wonderful.
Or product placement, sponsorships, that kind of a thing.
We want to take this to the highest level we can.
And I think it can. I mean, we've seen what a project like No Matter What has done and how long it has had an impact. You guys said 20 years, and we still remember it. You mentioned Granny Tomasa, and when I saw her on the screen there,
you already know who she is. Yes.
Yeah, and these are people who have even been able to develop a name for themselves outside of that. I remember Tanya Carter being on No Matter What, and I'm not saying that was what launched her music career, but that was the first time that I saw her face. And I'm sure that there are a lot of other Belizeans who would love to be in an industry like this, but they just don't know how. So perhaps this is a start. This is a way that they can get experience as well.
And no matter what we saw, and what it basically brought to fruition what we were aiming to showcase, that Belize has a lot of unique stories and talent. And it's just the vehicle, providing the vehicles, but also a vehicle that goes to a higher level than what is known. Because back then, when No Matter What came out, the only thing we had in Belize in TV was mainly talk shows and like
radio
remakes of like international shows, which are like mainly just live stage shows or stuff like that. In terms of something where we actually went on location, did something dramatic, creative, tell stories, Belizean stories, which are unique and the Belizean family and the dynamics. And then we also intertwined a social theme in No Matter What to have a social benefit. Like we did domestic violence, we did youth violence, and showed characters who went the negative route and what the outcome or possible outcomes for them were, and then those who took the positive route. Because, and that's one of the things that we try to do No Matter What, entertain, and it was like we geared from the kids to the grandparents.
Yeah.
And so it was a family show. I know a lot of people who are younger still say they remember it from when they were going to primary school and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's what we were saying.
talking
Yeah.
about.
And so what we want to do with this movie is to showcase that we could do Belizean grown. He's an honorary Belizean, by the way.
Yeah,
Yes,
we adopted. We went back in time
We adopted
about his
him.
connection here
But
to Belize.
I-
He's Belizean now.
Yes.
Yeah, he's
But I-
honorary.
but it's
my
like-
passport should attest to that.
Yeah, but wait, see, I think we'll really give you that passport after you say No Matter What, stronger with a stronger
without
Creole
the
accent.
accent.
What?
No matter what.
No matter what.
No.
It's not matters.
You gotta put more work in.
No matter what.
No matter what.
Still kind of
matter what.
American.
What?
No matter
No
what.
matter
I know.
what.
But what
I know,
what
I know.
no matter what had was, like you said, that relatability to Belizeans and Belizean culture. This particular film takes it a step further. It's a little bit different, definitely will appeal to an international audience. So how do our cast members find that relatability in the storyline?
Well, they just bring to their characters, whatever they have, whatever they have that we see will fit. And also, even if you are looking at the casting list and you don't see anything that'll fit, I mean, we also need extras and background personnel and everything.
You need an entire crew.
Right. So even if you don't see somebody specifically, on the casting list that you say, oh, I could fit that, come anyway and at least sign up, and you could also always, be part of the extras and background.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have a bar scene where Terry's what do we call it? The character that takes over
Her
body.
alter ego.
Yeah, alter ego. lures a pimp that thinks he's all that.
Oh, that'll be interesting
Yeah.
to
That
see.
will be interesting
That scene
to see.
will require a lot of background and extras. So.
Yeah.
There you go.
And, and what we'll do is, for those who audition who don't necessarily win the lead roles, we'll have them on our casting list for
Future projects.
So
and for extras and background roles. So
one more
they can still be
time
involved.
for our viewers that are listening that want to audition, when, where, what time, and how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, well, we'll be at the Bliss from 1 to 6 p.m. On Saturday, thanks to Kim Vasquez and Miss Fuller. They are accommodating us to do the auditions there.
Okay.
Call 610-1313. Or you can check out the casting list on our Facebook page, 13 Productions Belize. And once they call and express interest in the role, I will forward them via WhatsApp the script for them to prepare.
Or they can just show up. Like I said, we will have sides, on site.
Printouts at the
Show up,
location.
yeah.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for
Yes.
stopping by
Thank you
and
very much.
And thank
sharing
you for
this.
taking us down memory lane a little bit. That was
It's nice.
exciting.
It's nice. And congratulations again in all the work that you guys have been doing. And we can't wait to see what Clutches will turn out to be.
Yeah, neither can we.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, the conversation switches into cocktails from Manatees. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
My name is Monica Ramklam. I'm the proud owner of Wide Awake Cafe, and I bank with Belize Bank Independence Branch. The services I use the most is the Belize Bank eCash and the POS machine. Here at Wide Awake Cafe, we try to give customers a variety of payment options. When I went to open my Belize Bank account, the POS machine was offered to me. The service was very easy and fast. I only had to sign the papers, and the day of opening, my POS machine was here and ready for customers to use. I would definitely recommend Belize Bank services to small business owners because it's very convenient and the customer service is excellent.
We all know about the phasing out of single-use plastics and the enactment of pollution from the plastics regulations. One of the key components in this regulation states that for an item to be considered biodegradable, it must consist of more than 50% of bio-based content. Here, you will find out how the Department of the Environment determines what items meet the criteria and what equipment is being used to guide that process.
Since 2019, the Department of the Environment has been working with CFAS in doing microplastics. Through this project, CFAS has donated 2 microscope Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy equipment to strengthen capacities on monitoring and enforcement to reduce marine litter and plastic pollution. The FTIR can be used to identify unknown materials. The Department of the Environment will use the equipment to determine the composition of single-use plastics and biodegradable products to enforce the environmental protection, pollution from plastics regulations.
While we have a long way to go with the implementation of the pollution from plastics regulation, having this equipment is one step closer. For more information on what's being done about biodegradables and ways you can help, visit our website at www.doe.gov.bz.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize!
Hey there, smart thinkers! We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't leave this plan. I can't leave this plan.
Welcome back, guys. We're having our final conversation this morning, and it's all about cocktails for Manatee's fundraiser. Yes. We are joined by the Manatee man himself, Jamal Gavez, and he is here to talk to us about the event. We know and recognize his face for the work that he does with Manatees here in Belize. Professionally, he is a manatee research and conservation biologist, but to all of us, he's the Manatee man. Jamal, thanks so much for joining us, and welcome again.
Thank you for always having me here.
So cocktails for Manatees. We know and love this fundraiser. We have you here every year to talk about it. We know that it has a name of its own at this point.
Yeah.
Where a lot of people look forward to the event. I do too as well. So let's talk about it.
Well, you know, cocktails and Manatees don't really go hand in hand, but literally every cocktail purchase, every sip taken responsibly supports our worthy cause. It has been an event that we've been carrying out for I think about 9 years now.
Yes.
And it has become its own event. It literally is the driver of the local economy, the local supporters, the local businesses, the local individuals who actually purchase a ticket. Don't underestimate the impact that you have by literally purchasing a ticket to come to this event or giving donation. And one of my sentiments is always is that the amount of supporters we get over the years has been tremendous. Every year we get additional new supporters. I think we have about 80 or 90 different supporters this year. At this event, there's something for everybody. It's not a fundraiser is not for rich people. It's for everybody.
I love that you mentioned that, because a lot of times when we think of fundraisers, event-wise, we think that you need to have
correct.
something
No, definitely.
to give.
For me, it's to have. It's not just about the fundraiser, but it's also to bring awareness to the cause. So people come there, they're learning, they're being involved, they're participating, and conservation is not a spectator sport. You gotta get out of the stands and get your hands dirty and be a part of the initiative.
I really want you to talk about the initiative that this has contributed to for the past 9 years or so. Like we said, we know you as the Manatee man, but you have been in so much conservation research with Manatees for over a decade, actually.
And recognized worldwide
Yes.
as well. We know him also for being on platforms like the National Geographic. I think you were also on TED Talk.
Yes, he was.
That's
yes.
insane. I don't know anyone here in Belize that has done something like that, Jamal. Seriously.
So so I wanted to go into your research and the conservation initiatives.
Correct. For us is that it is interesting in the sense that for years we've been carrying out this initiative and it has grown in the society, I believe. As a kid I used to hear about Manatees, talk about Manatees, and it wasn't really popular, but Manatees have become a very popular species, and for us that's the goal because people like things that are popular.
Yeah.
Our research initiative started in 1995. I was just 11 years old when I got involved with this, and it has been going on for a long time. And for me, these fundraisers allow us to do things that we don't normally do, like for instance, we're limited to grants and proposals, and those things are restricted to certain locations. So for me, it's why the prior places like Gills Point, Hopkins, St. Bay, from a summer camp, while giving it to places like Belize City and other Placentia and more popular destinations. For me, I want to be able to share this with every little kid in remote places, because I was from a remote place as well, and somebody brought it to me. So my goal is to bring that to them, and by supporting this event, you're not just rescuing or contributing to research. You're literally helping to mold the next generation of Belizeans to be conservationists as well.
Why are manatees important for ecosystem in Belize?
Why are they important for ecosystems in Belize? Manatees are the only herbivorous mammals within our waterways, so they're the only ones eating seagrass at the magnitude in which they do. These animals can get up to 1,000 pounds. They eat about 10% of their body weight daily.
Wow.
So to bring things into perspective, one adult manatee will eat about 4 boxes of lettuce a day. That's a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So because they eat so much, they excrete a lot. The excretion, they poop acts as food for small fishes and crustaceans, so that keeps the Belize Reef beautiful, the fisheries stocks high, and then big fish eat small fishes and we eat big fishes. So in other words, we've all had a little bit of man to poop at some point of our life.
Thanks,
But
I appreciate that fact.
but it's important, if you remove them from the food chain and you'll have a big problem.
Yeah. For a long time, they were seen as endangered. What's the statistics like now?
Still, and our ultimate goal is to see them being removed from that list. They're still there. We're making strides. We're going in the right direction. There are still hiccups. There are still incidents as we relate to injured or manatee being killed. Now we've been seeing an increase in the number of manatees that needs to be rescued. Hence our new initiative to sort of build this Belize Marine Rescue and Educational Center, and the additional place where you can facilitate animals in need of care. But not just a rescue center, but an educational center. So it's going to be a place that's going to mold the next generation of conservationists. So students from SJC, Gale, and Nazarene, anywhere in Belize City can come to this facility and actually gain hands-on experience. Because for me, that's why I started. I didn't learn this in college. I did it the next way around. I got the hands-on experience before I went to college to actually understand it theoretically.
What are some of the common ways that you guys have observed manatees being harmed?
The most popular is watercraft collision. Most manatees get hit by boats. I think around 60% of the animals that die every year are from boats. The other issues are loss of coastal habitats, people tearing down the mangrove, dredging the seagrass beds. We're not against development, but we're for sustainable development. We understand that Belize economy drives from tourism, but if we're not doing these things properly, we're destroying the very same thing that we're striving from. So we have to be careful that we're not the dog on the bone, no? Plastic pollution is a problem, entanglement in fishing gears. Even though gill nets are banned, there are still people that use them illegally. So those are some of the issues along with climate change. We've seen climate change biggest impact to the species this year, because this year we've seen long droughts, which affects water temperature, water levels, and that has impacted seagrass in sensitive places that have moved manatees to go to other places that they don't normally would be because of these issues. And we expect over the years it's going to increase, and these animals they're gonna have to learn to adapt. Even in the wild, the fittest is going to be the ones that are going to survive. But our job is to try and alleviate or limit some of the human impacts that these animals are facing.
I was watching this TikTok video of somebody that said you're not supposed to be overly loving to a manatee when they come and they latch onto you, because a lot of the times the pups are straying away from their moms.
Right.
And so if you hug on them, they're gonna get like that maternal attachment to you.
I said Jamal hugged so many manatees.
Wait. So I saw this and I was like, I didn't know that was a law or something like that. And so I wanted to get your opinion on that, but also to talk a little bit about some fun facts that we might not know about manatees.
Well, I mean, an animal in the wild, we have to be careful how we interact with animals in the wild, because they are wild. A young manatee may be mischievous, maybe inquisitive. Manatees are generally curious. In Belize, we call it like cruffing and interfering.
Oh.
So they hear something, they'll come and check it out. So normally it's just them checking out what's happening, but a young behaving manatee will be a little bit more than an adult would, because they don't know the dangers of those things. And so for us, we're always trying to encourage people to keep a safe distance, because you don't want to encourage that behavior, because if it ends up with around somebody that's not welcoming to a manatee, then it can be harmful for them in that sense. But it's hard not to love manatees. So it's I mean, for me, so you don't want to distance that, because that's what makes people care. So giving them that attachment, giving them that relation in terms of, because we're similar to manatees, or our biology are similar to manatees, or interactions are similar. If you see a mother care for its calf, it's similar to when you have a baby at home or something of that sort. It's really interesting, and to me, it helped me in fatherhood. Being taking care of manatees.
That's so beautiful.
So it helped me to like prepare myself for this new awakening.
And you just, not really just, but you are a new dad.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting the way that you have also shared on your social media how your daughter Sailor has also fallen in love with manatees as well. Thankfully, so if she wouldn't have embraced manatees, I don't know.
So you feel sorry.
I mean, I want her to be her own person, but I want to expose her to those things as well. We're always in the field, so she's always with us, and she's getting that experience, and she seemed to have a natural affinity to it. Maybe it's genetics, I don't know.
Yeah. What are some things that people should know about manatees here in Belize? As civilians, we're not necessarily conservators, but what can we do to help?
Oftentimes people mistake helping with just donating, but you'd be surprised something as simple as sharing a post on social media. Literally a click make a difference. We're very quick to make negative news go viral. I mean, share a manatee being rescued, share a manatee being injured, share that. I mean, for me, people sharing exposes that information to a new audience. People that I may not be reaching. So something as simple as sharing a post on social media. Knowing your do's and don'ts. Manatees are wild animals, you want to keep them well. Don't touch, don't feed manatees. When you're on a boat, you have a responsibility, even if you're not driving the boat. If you see a sign that says slow down, remind the captain that they need to slow down. Report these cases. If you hit a manatee with a boat, it's not illegal. Call it in so you can actually try and help it. Accidents do happen, we understand that. Nobody's going to prosecute you for accidental hitting a manatee, but you give us a chance to try and help that animal. Stashing your trash when you're near the waters, that's really good, and to share that information. I think the most powerful tool in conservation is the message and the listening ear. I've shared a message, the viewers are listening, and I ask them to share that message with 2 or 3 other persons, and I've had messages come back to me from 10 times full people I'd never met before. And that literally costs nothing. Literally, that's what I think is going to save the planet, going to save species, by just sharing that message, because people don't wake up in the morning wanting to be conservationists. Something has to trigger them, or something has to inspire them to do so.
And that's very similar to what happened in your story.
Yeah, exactly.
As you mentioned, you gained the experience through the story of how it began, and then afterwards you went to college and you got the formal knowledge behind. So let's talk about the fundraiser again, where it will be taking place, and how we can support.
So it's going to be at Cork Chic Whiskey Bar this Saturday, starting from 6 p.m. to midnight. It's going to be a night of entertainment.
I've been to the.
You can
tell us what happens there. But we want to know.
Listen,
what's the entertainment
Sabrina,
like?
So the entertainment is full on live music. You get a chance to talk to everybody else that is really and truly interested in this particular initiative. There are silent auctions. You get to bid your dollar for a lot of these fabulous prizes. Some of them that, you know, a little bit over my budget to be able to contribute. But like Jamal rightfully said, every sip, every dollar, all of it goes towards the cause. So even just going there and purchasing a ticket goes towards the cause. And then of course, if you can bid on some of these amazing prizes, you do so. But I know that every year the prizes change according to who's ever is sponsoring and assisting. Right? So
what do we have this year as it relates to prizes?
We have a lot. I mean, I think we have about 60 different items that are like, whether it's a hotel stay, a vacation, a tour, a dinner, or a gift basket. There's something for everybody. So there's something within every person's budget. So there's no way that you can go there and not take home something. We ask people to buy their tickets because we do door prizes, which are really good prizes. We raffle items throughout the night. It really is a night to remember. Every year we've tried to improve it. Every year we want to make it better so that people, you know, have a greater appreciation for coming to the event. It's not just about buying that ticket, but it's about participating in it. People will say they support you, but saying they support you and showing you they support you is two different things.
Agreed.
And I can say, I know there's a common saying that Belizeans don't like support Belizeans, but I really cannot say that because in all honesty, I have people that support me every single year. Not because they just want to give donation, but literally because they really care about the initiative, and that's the most impactful meaning to me because it means that these people understand the value, they understand the plight, they know why we're doing this, and we always try to be held accountable. Every year we let people know what we made. By the end of the year, we say, okay, these are the breakdown, this is what we spend the money on, so that people know what their buck is going to support.
Like Sabrina said, though, you are a staple name, so people automatically see you and they know your cause, and that has taken years to build. So when you're talking about, you know, creating this particular event and having all of these persons come together and contribute, what does that take?
I like to call it it's my Super Bowl.
Your Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's my Super Bowl because it's like the biggest time of the year. It takes a lot, in all honesty, but for me, the joy that I get is watching people at this event just seem so seamlessly just enjoying themselves in their space. People come there by themselves and leave with friends. People make so many friends there, it's crazy, and that you end up seeing people coming together next year, and there's a whole vibe around this event. I mean, everybody that's at this event, everybody that's supporting this event is there because they actually want to be there. Whether it's the steel band, it's the DJ, it's the MC, or donors, these are people that literally look forward to supporting this. I mean, companies like Boeing and Boeing, they've stretched to every single department. They've used every avenue that they can to support this event. People that, for me, I cannot express my appreciation for the supporters. This literally would not be possible without them. Our work is not possible without them. And for me, it's more important that we have the Belizean local support that support these initiatives because it shows that there's value to it.
Indeed.
I remember last year, it might be last year, we spoke about some of the projects that you are hoping to see come to fruition in terms of rehabilitation for injured manatees, and some of the same funds that will be raised at the Cocktails for Manatees fundraiser is a build-up to that. How are we as it relates to that?
We're on track, and you have a really good memory. This has been a dream of mine for a very long time, and I'm grateful to the government of Belize, to the Ministry of Tourism, and Honorable Anthony Mahler. They have donated substantial towards it. We're actually a month away from breaking ground, so soon there'll be some activities happening, and it's not.
Where will it be?
In Gills Point, Manatee.
Of course, no better place.
I mean, it's a central location, and since the road is paved, it's even accessible now.
Jamal just biased a little bit, but no.
I mean, it's also, it's not just conservation, it will be livelihoods. We're going to try and hire locally, get people in there involved in this initiative, to also highlight an aspect of that center is to highlight the Creole culture as well. And we're working very closely with Honorable Fonseca to try and bring that into light, because that culture has somewhat been hidden because of the inaccessibility. But now it's been accessed, and we don't want that to be lost. With development changes things, culture start to change, and we want to ensure that it's preserved and it's highlighted and it's presented somewhere.
So what kind of research will we be expecting from a building like this?
So we expect to have at any point in time 7 to 8 we'll be able to accommodate at least 8 manatees at a time. When you get in there, you'll be able to learn. You walk into a room, you learn about every single marine life in Belize. from mangrove to seagrass to sea star to the normal fishes. So when you walk out of that center, you'll be more educated than myself about Belize's marine life. We're hoping that we can have an area that we highlight other marine organizations that are doing different things, whether it's the Healthy Reef, or it's the Fragments of Hope, or it's the Crocodile, or it's the other organizations, so that people that come visit can see the conservation work that is there. At the Clearwater Marine Aquarium, we're always open to visibility. We don't have any pools behind the scene. Everything is open. The surgical suite is going to be visible to the public. So if they're doing an assessment, you'll be able to walk right up to the glass and see what they're doing. There's no point in hiding anything if you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to walk on a platform and see these animals being recovering, and it's going to be designed in a way that you can view these animals, but you don't interact with them, so you're not obstructing their normal behavior, you're not obstructing their rehabilitation process. But it's going to be one of a kind. We're going to be building it at the highest in regards to USDA standards, so it's going to be at highest level you'll find in Belize, and we're very proud of that. And like I said, the support is large.
Are you open to volunteers?
Oh, definitely. That's what is going to be strived on. I mean, we're hoping to not just a lot of volunteers tend to be from internationally. We're going to really want to tap into getting our local people to be a part of that. Whether it's providing food and accommodation, because volunteer in Belize is not that easy, because not a lot of people have funds to come on. But if you're going to be providing a service, the least we can try and do is to accommodate you and to make sure you're safe and comfortable while you get that knowledge. And we're soon to sign an MOU with the Ministry of Education. So we're committed to taking in interns from the universities and students that are involved or interested in this field.
Go ahead.
Are there any, and I know that your story is so unique, again, because of the fact that it started with your introduction to Manatees from where you are from, and then that love spiraled into other things, but you have been given so many opportunities since then. Are there any opportunities for persons who are interested in conservation the way that you are, scholarship-wise?
That is something that we are hoping to add to this. Since the center is going to be open to the public, it's going to be a small fee to enter. We're hoping to build a fund that will, whether it's to Galen or University of Belize or SGSC, some initiative to not just practically teach people, provide a theoretical avenue for them as well. So that's something that we definitely want to be a part of. I am fortunate of many of those things. So that's definitely something that is high on my list and something that I'm very prideful about. So.
Jamal, girls point that magic. I always say that. But when it comes to the interactions with people and the local people and Manatees, there's this special connection. They don't have to be conservators or like Jamal to kind of talk about it, but every kid knows a manatee in some way, shape, or form. Talk to us about how you're getting the local people involved in the initiatives.
It is interesting. I mean, since 1996 when we started, I mean, right now our research team is made up of 60% of people from the village.
Wonderful.
Literally, though we have vets and veterinarians and doctors from international and our local team, 60% of our research team is made up of guys and girls. It's actually interesting because we went back and traced the number of people that we've actually had on it. So every year we added two or three new persons to get so that everybody gets a position to be hired. So every household makes something from it. And we've watched and we've seen actually we've gone from father to son of the son.
Wow,
it's crazy. It's crazy. It's really crazy. And these guys come on there and it's kind of like they have a natural affinity for it. They don't require a lot of training. They live it. They've seen it. They've been around it for so long that they're lined up. Like it's my turn next year. It's my turn next year. I have a hard time picking people every year. But then it's definitely. I've never been in any other place where Manatees are, and I've seen it stand out so much.
My final question to you, and this one isn't so much a serious conversation, but I remember people always calling it Malantee.
Malantee though.
Where does that come from?
That's a Creole. I mean, that's a Creole, you know. We always we have, no matter what the word is, we'll find a word in Creole to make it our word, and it's Manatee, but Malantee. Like even the village people say Malantee.
I used to find I didn't know that it was Manatee until later on in
life.
Like it's Malantee. But Jamal, just one more time for our viewers, tell us when, where, time, and how they can still purchase tickets.
Correct. So it's this Saturday, Cork Street Whiskey Bar from 6 p.m. to midnight. tickets are still available, just a few. Where you can find tickets at this moment is at Eye Candy, the Tavern, Map Street, Cork Street, and Madisco. Get your tickets. It's very important to get the tickets because it gets you in the door prizes.
Yeah. So $50.
People call me like 6 o'clock. Hey, where I can get that ticket? Get your ticket, please get your ticket, because I won't be able to help you.
Yeah. Our space is limited for the Cork Street.
Yeah, definitely. We have VIP tickets, but those are, I think, are already gone because it's the limitation in terms of the space.
Right. Okay.
You can pay at the door, but I encourage you to get your ticket because we can only accommodate for a certain amount of people.
Yes, exactly. All right. Do you want to pay respects to your sponsors of this event?
Definitely. I mean, we have a long list of sponsors, but I'm pretty sure they're going to share it on the screen, and I'm grateful for all our sponsors. They are there. There are so many, too many for me to actually mention here right now. But we are extremely grateful
that
to
is
each individual.
I think that may just
it's a lot. It's literally a lot. Like I said, there's something for everybody, and these people are literally out of the kindness of their heart doing it every single year. You see some of these names every single year. I mean,
that's true.
I have a tremendous appreciation for it. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without the support that we get, and it's like none other. I don't think there's any other event of this kind that you see that sort of support. And I'm extremely grateful for it. The Manatees also are grateful for it, and I'm giving you their thank you.
Yes, it's a testament to all the hard work that you do, Jamal. So thank you so much for everything that you have done and will continue to do. And congratulations on the successful event.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, and I hope that we'll see Sabrina here this year.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I hope so too.
I'm calling her out on national TV.
Yes, you know how I got the last time? Because he did it.
Yes, I did the same.
Yes.
So people that are going to be there, look out for Sabrina.
So Sabrina, but Jamal, thank you so much. We do got to take our final break, and when we come back, we'll be wrapping things up. Don't go away.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize.
Hey there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't let this plan. I can't let this plan.
With the steady increase in prices, it's hard to hold on to your hard-earned cash. Well, here at Benny's, prices are steadily falling, making it easier to stretch your dollars. Prices are slashed on roofing, Glycem, nails, rebar, paints, lumber, and other products for your construction needs. And with fantastic discounts going on right now, get store-wide deals on select products from now through September 30th. Visit a Benny store near you today where the prices just keep on falling. Benny's, quality and savings.
The Office of the Prime Minister invites you to the National MSME Roadshow 2024. Join us for free workshops in marketing using AI, finance, business planning, and customer service. Connect with financial institutions for access to finance opportunities, meet with key government agencies, and showcase your business at the Roadshow Expo in an effort to get more locals to buy Belizean. We will be in Orange Walk Town, June 13th to the 15th, PG, June 27th to the 29th, Corozal, July 11th to the 13th, Benque, July 25th to the 27th, San Pedro, August 15th to the 17th, Key Cocker, August 23rd to the 24th, Belmopan, August 29th to the 31st, Hopkins, September 13th to the 14th, San Ignacio, September 26th to the 28th, Tangriga, October 10th to the 12th, Placencia, October 18th to the 19th, and Belize City, October 24th to the 26th. Sign up today for the National MSME Roadshow. For more information, follow us on Facebook at Beltrade or call us at 880-3737. Sign up today for the National MSME Roadshow. Let's get your business on the road.
Hi, my name is Lincoln Fowers and I work at UMAL. 100% I will recommend Belize Bank mobile banking to everyone because it saves time, money and gas price because gas price is high right now. Belize Bank mobile banking just make life easier.
Welcome back and thanks for sticking with us. We had 3 great conversations this morning, April, and as different as they are, I think they were so important for us to have. Starting things off, you know, we also highlight small businesses or entrepreneurship on Friday. And that was a little bit different in our first segment this morning because we provided that space in an opportunity for entrepreneurs or small business owners to further develop their business through Run Free Belize. I have to say the backstory of Run Free Belize is what really captivated me initially. Hearing the story from Lucien, being a part of that rat race and deciding that this wasn't a space for him anymore. Which I think is the story for a lot of entrepreneurs really when you think about it. A lot of entrepreneurs or soon-to-be entrepreneurs,
or even
they
if
have
you
similar
don't know if that is your calling, but you know you maybe have an idea or something like that. That's what I really liked about his initiative. I know he's still looking for persons to be a part of his program. It's a 16-week course, and so it's almost like a class, and you of course will get a certificate at the end of the 16 weeks. So get in touch with Lucien Dawson. He is ready to assist you in your entrepreneurial experience and journey.
And aside from the certificate, you get an opportunity to walk away with a business plan. Of course, a lot of information, a lot of knowledge on how to take your business or your business idea to that next level
and to
as well.
network, because if you're going to be in this particular program with 10 other entrepreneurs that want to do the same, and like he said, the best way to build your business is to collaborate. And this is a great space to do that.
Yes, absolutely. And in our second segment, it was all about...
we went down memory lane with the creators of No Matter What, and it was such a fun time because I know that we were here to talk about their new film, Clutches, but we couldn't help but continuing to go down memory lane. And
you know, we were impacted by No Matter What when we spent at least a quarter of that segment talking about
No Matter What. But they are also looking for persons to be a part of Clutches. They have done very well in inspiring Belizean actors and so for Belizean producers and directing film, and they want more Belizeans to be a part of this film. So they are going to be at the Bliss Center for Performing Arts tomorrow from 1 to 6 p.m. Just casting people into the show and getting certain, you know, movie lines and so forth going. And they have a long list of persons that they would like to cast, and you can always find it available. I think we showed it on the screen earlier in the show, but there's several different parts that you can play, including fillers and so forth. But if you want to be a part of it, you can call 610-1313 and they will send you a script, a line, and you can go in on audition.
Yes, I think what's really interesting about projects like this, April, is that we know that acting is something very hard to tap into professionally, at least
in Belize,
not only in Belize but outside. When we think of acting, we think of well-known names that you'd see on our television screens, these blockbuster films, and it's very hard to get to that point. When we think about gaining experience as well, though, that's also equally challenging. So I think this is a great opportunity for persons who maybe have their sights set on the bigger screens, and just to get their feet warm and get an opportunity to expand on their craft, whether it's for the first time or whether it's just sharpening their skills and adding to their acting resume. This is a great opportunity, and the storyline is so interesting.
It's very interesting, and I was thinking about it afterwards, that when he said 20 years of celebrating no matter what, I was
that aged us immediately.
Felt me aged just a little bit, but also to think about how film industry in Belize has grown since then. We now have a film commissioner. We have all of these several media spaces and so forth that people have tapped into in the media business, you know, and just kind of expanding on that creative arts. We now have all of these music studios, and so I feel like we're getting to that point where we're expanding in this particular creative sector in Belize, and so I'm very proud that these writers and producers have come together to now yet again make another film based in Belize. So head on over to the Bliss tomorrow to audition for your role,
and then head on over to Cork Street on Saturday
at 6 p.m.
cocktails for Manatees. Actually, that's so perfect because right after, well, that's on Friday.
Yeah.
So the next day at 6 p.m., go right at Cork Street or purchase your tickets before and support Manatees and the research and the work being done by conservationists who care about this mammal. It's an amazing initiative. The work has been ongoing for many years, but this fundraiser itself has been 9 years.
9 years.
So we have to say congratulations to the individuals working behind the scenes. We also want to say thank you to Jamal Gavez, who stopped by and talked to us yet again about the work that he is doing and why this matter. Of course, also why you should support.
The fact that it's such a big event, Sabrina, and all of the collaborators and sponsors that have taken initiative to donate and to give back is a testament to how big this initiative is. And so we encourage you to buy your tickets and head on over to Cocktails for Manatee to support a worthy cause. But it is Fun Friday, and we want to say a big thank you to all of our viewers for tuning in and for joining us. It is August 16th, and if it is your birthday today, we want to say a happy birthday to you. And if you have a birthday shout out or just a question or a comment, drop us a line right here at oye@channel5belize.com.
And you can also catch us on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BZ.
And check out our highlights on Instagram at OYEBelize. It is the weekend. There are so many events happening, so be safe, and then join us again on Monday when you open your eyes
to start your morning right.
Be sure to keep your eyes, your minds,
and your hearts open.
We'll see you soon, Belize. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful weekend.
Bye.
Was brought to you by Smart, bringing people together, and the Belize Bank, our country, your bank.